Bring me baby.
24. Yeah, 6:53.
Good baby.
Tell Daddy you're practicing for when you're gonna be a big sis. In January.
Are you serious?
Yep.
You're pregnant again?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I swear.
January?
I think so.
You think January?
Monday, yesterday, I called our fertility specialist that we saw with Oakley, and that we were in the cares of with her up until the first trimester. And I called them again to let them know that I found out I was pregnant again, and that I didn't know if I also needed to be in the care of their hands again. They won't see us. And I think it's due to like COVID and everything, but they just explained like, you know, even though that you had miscarriages in the past, like you did have a healthy pregnancy, so basically we're not gonna, like, there's no need for us to see you, which like I understand, especially like with everything going on in the world, but I don't know, it just like kind of sucks and it's a little stressful. They're like, you just need to follow up with your regular OBGYN. At Fairhaven, the doctor that I'm seeing, he's really understanding. And he said, you know, with your history of recurrent miscarriage, if it would make you feel better and make you be less stressed to have an ultrasound every 2 weeks, then we could. He's like, we can't really do it every week, even though I know that's what you like, which I would. But I mean, he's right when he says that not much changes in 1 week, at least in the first trimester. And it's like, I'm doing everything the same that I did with Oakley. So I mean, I hope and I pray that everything will be okay and that it'll be a healthy pregnancy and I'll be able to carry this baby to term. But you know, it's still just like, it's just still scary. And yeah, it's interesting to me because a lot of women will say, oh, like, I'm nervous to give birth because I want the baby is so safe inside my womb, I don't want it to come into the scary world. But for me, I kind of think the opposite. I'm like, I want this pregnancy to like fly by, because I feel like the babies are never safe inside my body, because somehow my body always betrays me and thinks that the baby is not a baby, that it's something else, and so it just like attacks it and kills it. And it just, yeah. But I'm trying not to stress, because I know that stress can do like a lot on pregnancy, and so I'm just trying to remain calm. But just the fact that I won't be able to be in the hands of a specialist, it's just, and I know some people are like, well, that's a good thing, Hannah, like that saves you money. I don't care about that. Like, I don't know. I went to Target. Oakley and I went to Target. She is napping right now. I got the big guy. One is a digital and one is just like the regular one. And I'm just gonna take both of them because I feel like I read somewhere that you have to have at least 25 milligrams of HCG, or maybe it's 50, I don't know, but you have to have a higher amount than, I know, 7 for this digital one to pick up. So I'm gonna take it and hopefully it picks up. If it doesn't, I'm honestly probably like gonna freak out. But hopefully it'll be okay. See, now, Hannah, you're stressing yourself out for no reason. But it's just, it's what happens when you go through multiple miscarriages in 1 year, or in life in general. But so hopefully, but yeah, okay, so I'm gonna go take this. If it doesn't show up pregnant, I know that it's not saying I'm not pregnant anymore. It just means that my level isn't high enough for it to pick up. But that isn't a bad thing, because I'm trying to remember what my endocrinologist told me last time. He said, don't stress about the number. It doesn't matter if it's 1 and it goes to 2. Actually, it does. If it's lower than 5, then they say you're not pregnant. But if it's above 5, then it indicates you are pregnant. And mine was a 7, so it's just like, oh, that's only 2 more. That's only like 2 more numbers than 5. And if it was 5, then they probably would say I'm not pregnant. I don't know. So, but again, It doesn't matter the number, it just matters that it doubles. So hopefully it will be okay. And I know of a lot of women on the internet that have shared their pregnancy story where their numbers didn't necessarily double, but they had completely healthy babies and it was completely fine. So all positive thoughts here, right? Now I'm kind of like freaking out because I'm pretty sure this is negative. It's not like it's dark. Oh, God. I'm like deathly afraid that this is going to say not pregnant now. I can't look. Okay, this says positive, but it's like so faint. It doesn't look any darker. I'm like so scared. I shouldn't have done this. Why did I do this? Oh my God, it says not pregnant. What do I do? What do I do? Oh my gosh. Why did I do this? I have to take it apart to see. Hold on. Okay, I don't know why it said no because it's positive. So, I got my test redrawn, my HCG redrawn yesterday, and I got a call today that, so originally my level was 7, that's what we started off with, and it only went up to 8. So definitely slow, doesn't really look promising. And I asked, I said, okay, so like, is it something to be worried about? And the phone nurse just said, you know, the doctor said just come back next week and get it redrawn. You're still pregnant, it's not going down. She said, we're not concerned, so just come back next week and see if it's gone up at all. But I mean, I am concerned because it's supposed to like double or go up more than just 1 in 48 hours, and mine literally just went up 1 number. So I don't know if they were just saying they're not concerned just because like they know our history and they like don't want to stress me out, but like I know our history, like I know how these things go, so it's like even though they're not concerned, I'm concerned. Like it went up 1, it went from 7 to 8. So, but still like trying to be hopeful. It's just hard because it doesn't look very hopeful, but I hope that I'm wrong, obviously. So yeah, I just figured that I would update you guys, or just like update this video. And the next time I have an update, I will let you know. I called them back just to ask if I would be able to come in tomorrow, since it'd be 48 hours from my last draw, to see if it's gone up any. I have yet to hear back from them, and they did let me know that I could take the progesterone vaginally if I wanted to. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm also taking a baby aspirin because I also did that with Oakley. So I'm on my thyroid medication, I'm on metformin. The metformin is supposed to help reduce the risk of miscarriage. It's good for those that have PCOS like myself. It helps you get pregnant, it's supposed to help you stay pregnant, like all this, but who knows if it actually ever works, because I've been on it with all of my pregnancies and the only successful pregnancy I've had yet is with Oakley. So, and hopefully this one. So I'm on metformin, and then I'm on progesterone, and I'm also on baby aspirin, so, and a prenatal. So lots of things. Hopefully they all do their job and they work like they did with Oakley. But I mean, I guess like you never know. And then I just like start going downhill. Like, what if it's not gonna work? Like, all the things that I thought was the answer with my pregnancy with Oakley, like what if it was just I got lucky with her, which I'm so glad that we did, obviously. But it's just like, I just thought that like that chapter of our fertility journey was over with. I thought that it's gonna be a closed book, but you can probably tell I'm crying. I started bleeding this morning. So obviously, we all know what that means. I'm glad we have Oakley. It's just like, I just thought that that chapter of our life was over. I guess not. So, yeah, the doctor's open at 9, so I'll probably call them. And I'll just ask if I can get into an ultrasound just to kind of like confirm that it's a miscarriage. And make sure that, oh gosh, I just hope that my body is able to do everything like naturally, because the thought of having to go back in and get a DNC, I just hope that my body is able to do it naturally. And yeah, Monday is kind of when the miscarriage started. And I think where I left off was I was trying to get in to get an ultrasound. I was able to get in to get an ultrasound on Monday, and it just kind of confirmed what I already knew was going on. There's nothing shown in my uterus, which, I mean, sucks, but I know that my body has passed everything, so it's good to know that my body was able to do it on its own, as it should have done with the previous times. My previous 3 miscarriages, they were all missed miscarriages, meaning that my body didn't know that the baby was no longer alive. It thought it was alive. And so I didn't have no bleeding. I didn't have any signs that there wasn't a heartbeat anymore. Whereas with this one, my body is able to do it naturally, and is doing and taking care of things the way it should. And I know I've passed it for obvious reasons. I just like know. And so there's that. We're seeing the specialist, the same specialist that we were in the hands of prior to getting pregnant with Oakley. We got referred to him again, just because, you know, this is our 4th one. It's not just, oh, these things, sometimes these things just happen. Like, that scenario for us is no longer there. That scenario went out the door after the 2nd one. So now hopefully we'll be able to kind of figure out a cause, because we were referred to him in 2019. With him, we saw him twice before finding out that I was pregnant with Oakley. Waiting for my period to start, but it wasn't starting. We were going to do the HSG. That was kind of like the first test that he wanted to run, other than the blood work that he had done. But from the blood work, there was nothing that kind of showed up. So he said the first test that he would like to roll out is the HSG. I was waiting for my period to come, and it didn't come, so I just took a test and it was positive. Thankfully, my body was able to hold that pregnancy. But for this one, I did everything that I did with Oakley's pregnancy, and it just didn't work out. So there's something in my body, again, I don't know what, is happening. I don't know the answer. I wish I did. And hopefully that's what we'll find out with him, with our fertility doctor, is hopefully we'll find the answer. Although I feel like realistically trying to find the exact reason as to why my body can't hold, I mean, I just feel like you never find the exact reason, but hopefully we will. Even if we can't find the exact reason, I hope that we find an idea at least of what is going on, because my body just isn't able to hold a pregnancy, and how it held it with Oakley, I don't know how, but obviously I'm so thankful and so grateful that it was able to hold it with her. But yeah, so we're going to see him through virtual Zoom, the first like consultation, even though we've had a consultation with him before, but this is kind of just to like reevaluate everything that's going on. And so hopefully we'll be able to figure out something with that. We see him in the beginning of June, so just in a few weeks, and hopefully again we'll be able to figure out something, because we didn't really do any testing or anything because I found out I was pregnant with Oakley, which wasn't a bad thing, because my body was able to help hold her until I gave birth to her, and she's a healthy, crazy, normal toddler. So that's, I spoke with the nurse when she called yesterday. She called to go over like my ultrasound results, which I mean, I think it's just what they have to do, but I obviously already knew what the results were going to be before she even called, because I physically saw it, and the ultrasound tech was so kind to just like walk us through everything that she was seeing, and I asked questions and she was really helpful in answering them. But she said, going off of the date of my last period, I was probably around the 6-week mark. Maybe like 5.5, but closer to the 6-week mark. She said 6 weeks 4 days, and I just explained like, okay, but the phone nurse prior to that said since my level was so low that I was only like 1 week pregnant, which I don't understand how you can just be 1 week pregnant, because doesn't your period, like, isn't that technically like week 1? So and the phone nurse that I spoke with too yesterday that called me, she agreed, and she said there's no way that you're 1 week pregnant. You were at least 5 weeks, but she said I would suspect that you were 6. And the reason why she thinks that I was exactly 6 weeks 4 days is because going off the date for my last period lined up perfectly with the day I was supposed to start my period, but I didn't, so I took a test and it was positive. So but I mean, that's that. There's nothing really to do about it. Yeah, so it's like good to know, okay, I probably was like 5 or 6 weeks. We just like find some answers with the specialist, and yeah, I will update whenever there's another update, but for this video that is going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.